Hi, I'm Jamie. I'm going to go over the surgery paperwork with you. This is our surgery options form. There are options for the owner to fill out at home or in the clinic if they have questions. So there's 2 pages of that. And then we have surgery consent forms, which are 5 pages. This one the owner will also fill out. So there's 5 of those.
Now it's nice to have these pages ahead of time because there's a lot to consider. The first one, there are a lot of different options, right?
Yes, there are.
And in this one, it requires a little thought and probably some information from, about other people. So like phone numbers, addresses, that kind of thing, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so those are the 2. And how can you find those?
So they are both in Drive. The first one is 2016 surgical consent forms, and the second one is surgical options forms.
Okay, so you can search for them in Drive,
Mm-hmm.
or you can look under the surgery paperwork, right?
Yes, you can do it both ways.
Okay, so there's a folder for that?
Yes.
Okay.
When you are booking the surgery, when you do it in person, you want to make sure you give them the paperwork that day so they have it. And when you are on the phone, you want to email them. So you want to make sure that you have their email address so they can fill it out ahead of time. Let them know that we will call them the day before surgery to go over it with them. Make sure they have the paperwork, make sure that they have their estimate, and answer any questions. And then we'll go over no food that night after 10 p.m. and then water is okay up until the morning. And then we ask them to come into the building between 8 and 8:30 to check in. If they don't have the paperwork, they can definitely fill it out that morning and we'll go over the options with them, but it definitely makes their check-in process a lot easier and smoother and faster if they have it ahead of time.
And what should the owner be expecting as far as time for the check-in process? Since a lot of people are on their way to work, there can be some confusion about that, right?
Yes. If they have their paperwork filled out ahead of time, it probably takes at least 5 minutes at most. If they don't have it, it could take 15 to 20 minutes going over all the options and answering all their questions if they don't have it ahead of time.
I mean, up to even a half an hour or so, right? Because other people might be ahead of them.
Yeah, so definitely, depending how many people we have here and how many surgeries there are, it could lengthen their time if there's not enough.
And what about phrasing it as a drop-off?
Yeah, I never want to say drop-off because when you say drop-off, they're expecting just to drop their pet and leave. So I always want to say we want to check-in time. So give them a length of time on the phone. It could take anywhere from 5 minutes to 30 minutes just so they plan accordingly too.
Okay. And then, so the goal of all of this advanced preparedness is?
For the owner, makes it a lot easier for them, so they can get to work if that's what they're doing or whatever it is. They can, even if they don't fill it out, they can read all through it. And we have a lot of people that come in, I read everything, but can you answer this, this, and this? Instead of like, oh my God, look at this paperwork when they come in. It takes a lot of pressure off of them and us checking them in.
Yeah. And a lot of times, I mean, there have been times in the past where people would have maybe their child drop off and they're not over 18 and then they're trying to fill out all this paperwork and they don't know what it is.
We have a lot of people fill it out ahead of time and then the child can drop them off and then it makes it a lot easier for them too.
Okay, thanks.